No, it's Connie here for some meditation video creations once more. And today we're doing universal movement, which was quite a profound realization. Understood further by a book called Become What You Are, Alan Watts. And it's essentially describing the universal nature to moving with like oneness, moving with the finite moment and pursuing. We'll delve into the video and we'll analyze it as we do. And yes, extremely interesting and extremely insightful stuff. And it was hard to explain because it's more from, I feel like it needs to be seen, but obviously it needs to be heard first. So here is where we listen to it, and if I can elaborate further on anything, I will 100% be doing that. It's essentially aligning yourself with the universe, which has been, that was kind of our yesterday's meditation as well, but today's one comes from a lot more of an understanding. And it's crazy, we feel like there's learning happening every day, and it's really cool. But day 97, let's get into it. And yeah, it's a longer video, probably because I just kept rambling, but it's an insightful video for sure. I can promise you that. Give me 1 second. Alright, let's get into it, people. Let's get into it. Also, if you ever join a stream, or you even just like watch the beginning of it, like this part, feel free to chat about stuff sometimes. Feel free to reach out and discuss philosophy, psychology, spirituality, anything, because it's all very fascinating. All very interesting, and it gives kind of a different dynamic to the world, which not many people, I guess we don't seem to know about. It's so exploratory. So it's kind of here for day 97 or 98 of meditation, and today we have a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about, which we do. Indeed we do. A massive emphasis or a new realization in presence. Yep. So I thought we understood, we knew we didn't understand presence to the extent, and we still don't, obviously. But today was kind of a wake-up call. I refer to it as the eternal movement. So it gave us a new lens of being one with life in a sense, and flowing with all of existence as one. It's quite profound, honestly. And it relates to ego, it relates to self, it relates to no self, it relates to emptiness, it relates to just the presence, the universal flow. Essentially, the eternal movement is that everything it truly helps to just flow with life a little bit more, not cling and create suffering out
is
of so
flowing
many
as
things.
one, which we've mentioned before, and we're part of that flow. But it's about recognizing the finite or the infinite domain to the presence. We've thought we've finite or the infinite domain to the presence. We've thought we've discovered presence before, but it's kind of undiscoverable, or it can be discovered, but it's kind of, you can think of a second, you can halve that second, you can halve that half a second, and you can continue to numb it down, and it becomes eternal in infinite space and time, which you can never actually comprehend or depict. Essentially saying that, like, yeah, you can continue to halve the space and time and it becomes infinite, it becomes eternal. And it's recognizing this eternal nature, this eternal reality, where true understanding of presence and emptiness kind of forms. And it's in this eternal nature, which forms the eternal movement. The eternal movement being the flow of everything, the flow of the universe as a whole, all flowing as one with the get rid of the filler words. As one with the moment. As one with the moment, but like the infinitely precise moment that everything just moves and flows along.
You say that
and
a lot throughout the video.
Coming into accordance with this, it's
to,
very much,
we're just trying to comprehend it ourselves, so it's very like, what actually is this, if that makes sense. It's very hard to just ramble when you are still trying to like foundate your understanding on something. Just flowing with everything. And it's like everything is continually moving in this moment. And this moment is the only thing, a moment that can't really be defined, and this moment is the only thing that exists. Only thing that can't be defined exists. It relates to past and future as well. So past and future not existing, but more existing on the foundation that it creates a perceived self, an illusionary self. And it is always flowing, and it's about coming into accordance with this flow. So just as... yeah, we look pretty concerned in the video. It's just contemplative. The sun rotates just as the birds fly, just as everything moves in the moment that we're in. It is about finding your foundation, in the sense that it is all an eternal movement. It's all just an eternal movement. Everything, the whole universe, all of nature, everything that we know, beyond the universe,
it moves on this infinite moment, and it just continually moves. And this is where they say past and future don't exist. This is where you understand no self and self. Self being depicted by past and future events which are no longer there. Self being a collective of experiences and portrayals and views and depictions of self and what we aspire to be. And through this clinging to all these different parts, we create a self. So they say to get to nirvana, which is the opposite of samsara being the cycle of birth and rebirth, cycle of suffering, to get to nirvana, it's to relinquish clinging altogether. But we create a self-image. And we were meant to actually, when we woke up today, we were thinking of going into a bit of clinging, like making a video on clinging and everything. But then, I don't know, just something about presence. So we touched on it. And this self-image is a facade in the sense that it is created out of an illusionary space. So this self-image is here, it. So you've got all this stuff, you depict it to this self-image. Say you're portrayed in a certain way, you're depicting to this self-image. Say you want something or you believe yourself to be something, you're depicting to this self-image. And it makes us forget what we already are. The attachment to or the portrayal of something is not you. The attachment and portrayal of a false self is not the true self that is always there. In the sense that trying to accept yourself is needing something that is not already there. Judging yourself or striving for something is needing something that is not already there. What is already there is that universal flow, that universal presence, the flow of everything, and it is the constant, the moment and the things that experience those moments, the thing that sees the moment. That looks like an arm coming out. No self essentially being founded on no particular portrayal of self. No particular portrayal of self. Because the portrayal of self misses the point of self completely. The self is already there. It is the depiction of the self trying to create something out of this eternal self, which creates an illusionary self. Rather, the self is part of the flow of everything. You can't determine a self here. You can't determine a self here. You determine a self by a collective of the beliefs based off moments you are not currently in. And this betrayal of self we are always trying to create. We are always trying to figure it out, find it, create it, whereas it's with us the whole time. The essence to what you are is the essence to what you are, and it is always there, and it is always flowing with everything else. And it is coming into this eternal flow, the eternal movement, and coming into acceptance of this eternal flow, of the emotions which produce themselves, of the thoughts which come across, of the things that happen. It is coming into acceptance, it's not like you come into acceptance and something terrible happens and you're not allowed to feel bad about it. It's coming into acceptance that this eternal flow has an unfolding nature, and it is has an unfolding nature, and it is ever moving, ever changing, and we are to so the self is always there, so you don't really need to create the self, because it's always there. And it's in creating the self we forget the self. We are to flow with it. We are create like a material self, an ego, depiction in the world, rather than being the true self, which is the essence of the universe. Pretty cool. If we feel emotions, we're not to reject it, deny it, shove it back in its box. It's to flow and understand it as this is the eternal flow that we're always flowing with. And it is to come into acceptance of this flow of nature, and everything involved with it. Yeah. And of nature and everything involved with it. The eternal flow, the eternal movement, that is what it means to come into alignment with I guess the nature of the universe, in a sense, or not even the nature of the universe, just the nature of. Yeah, that's because it seems like it's beyond the universe. The universe is probably a finite thing, even in this regard. It's like in alignment with everything. Like whatever this is, it's to like align yourself with the nature of reality. And reality is not correct either, but because what is reality? We don't even know. I described what we felt after looking into or meditating on the eternal flow, or even just realizing it, was that you start to notice even the floor under your feet as you you're walking, because it is so present, it is so blissful. Not blissful, but it's so present that you're kind of flowing with everything else. It is quite peaceful. Peaceful is probably the better word. Blissful, peaceful, same thing, but very peaceful, like everything else. I'm talking everything. Everything is flowing, and you walk out the door and you just flow, and you experience that flowing nature. You experience the only thing there is to experience, the nature of the reality that we're in. And obviously too, you can experience past and future and all sorts of stuff, but it comes from the present. It all happens in the present. Past and future, when you make your depictions of it, is aligned with the moment you're in. But it's experienced in this eternal flow. It's experienced in the moment you're in. And it's the thoughts which produce those feelings, and is the emotions and the continuous train of thoughts that follow. It's all produced in this eternal now. So whether we wish to or whether we wish to not, we are always in this eternal flow, and it always is in this infinite point in time. And if you're always in this eternal flow, whether you wish to or whether you wish to not, guess what? Whether you wish to not will just cause an outcast. Because, like we say, you're in it regardless of whether you want to be or not. So it's about accepting that you're in it and not rejecting that you're in it through needing more, through necessity, that we're able to become in alignment with it and more in acceptance of the flow of life that is flowing. Everything is flowing. This hand is flowing. That is the flow of all of the universe. The flow of all of the universe. And you can see everything. You can see the grass blowing the wind, you can see trucks going by, you can see anything, thoughts and people. Planet spinning, all sorts of stuff. Everything's just in this one constant movement. And this helps us realize the foundation of no self, being that we are a part of the flow of the universe. And it allows us to realize that clinging is a big downfall and suffering to oneself, in the sense that when we cling, we decide to determine the flow for ourselves. We are not in alignment, and we cling to build a false facade which overlooks what is already there. So we can cling to an outcome, yes. To elaborate on that, essentially, we mentioned it earlier, but if you cling, you're not in the alignment of what actually is. When you're in alignment what actually is, you are just with what actually is. When you cling to what needs to be, then you're not in alignment, and then you're stirring the mind, you're not at peace. An event, whether that is a social event, socializing with people, whether that is an assignment, business. An assignment, business, whether that is getting to do what you want to do in the afternoon. And when we cling to these things, we're not flowing with the accordance of nature, the accordance of life. We are determining things which aren't already there. And then we're clinging to the outcome of those things. And a lot of those outcomes can put emphasis more on the self. If you want to play games in the afternoon, you can say, I want to play games. And then we get there and it's like, and you don't get to apparently. And then suddenly you're a bit upset. If you cling to the outcome of a social situation and you perceive yourself to perform poorly, well, one, the expectation's going to amp you up and you're not flowing beforehand, then in the moment you're not flowing with it because of expectancies again, and then afterwards you're looking back and all of this clinging to this outcome, or this clinging of needing to be this perceived self, is just stirring, and it's about coming into alignment with this pinnacle moment and just flowing with it. It's quite profound, and and essentially they say the more we relinquish clinging in our life, that includes clinging to self, that includes clinging to the self-image that we behold, this illusion we create of the self that is ever changing, ever moving, and always being created, therefore never fulfilled. It is clinging to this as well that stirs our image of reality. It creates from a necessity of needing things in the world rather than just being in the world and pursuing the flow of the universe and the flow of nature itself. So when it comes to presence, it's relinquishing yourself of all the clinging to past, to future, to perceived self, to attachments, to the belongings in the world. This is why Buddhists and spiritual masters, they relinquish, they move into homelessness and just pursue the world because there's no attachment to anything. Because it is already there. It is the flow of everything which we are. It's the flowing nature of all of existence, and this continual flow, this is exactly what we are. And it is a profound realization to align yourself with this flow. And then from this flow, everything just occurs naturally and calmly. To calmly and just with an alertness to flowing and being in alignment with all things, with the oneness of movement of all things. So yeah, I find that very hard to explain, honestly, but
I mean, you seem to do a decent job at it. Obviously you can, with like an hour to talk, you could definitely delve into it a lot more, but
hopefully
for a 10-minute
you guys
video,
can take something away from that. Moral of the story is to flow, or understand the nature of flow, understand everything. Every is flowing continuously, and you are a part of this flow, and you are to experience this flow. This includes the ups and downs, this includes everything. It's coming into acceptance and being with that flow. That really makes it a wonderful place. And an accepting place. So yeah, we'll leave that there. And yeah, we'll elaborate further when more things come up. But yeah, just when more things come up. But yeah, just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Be peaceful, be in acceptance, be flowing with the present, understanding the present is eternal and always flowing. Don't cling to
said the eternal also includes everything.
a perceived self
The oneness.
or things which we attach ourselves to within the world. Or within ideas, within thought, relinquish all of it and just become this flow and flow with all of life, flow with all of existence. It's just an unfolding of the universe. So align yourself with it and then you can do whatever you wish. Anyway, take care people, and we'll see you for day 98 or 99, whatever it is.
Awesome. Voila, video created. That's an awesome video. Very insightful. Maybe it's biased because it's all I've been thinking about today. Well, this downloads. Give me a second, and we'll create the thumbnail, and then we'll wrap it up. Because nice short streams are what we're doing at the moment. Just to do some meditations, and then we'll have to go do some uni work and stuff. Then go to actual work. So yeah, but we'll create this little thumbnail because it's nice and fun and creative.
And it gives more opportunity to chat. But yes, give us 2 seconds. We'll be back. Okay, let's create an awesome looking thumbnail for this thing because we love awesome looking thumbnails. Let's make it even crazier than previous ones because we love crazy things. We'll keep it in there. But what we're really after is this thing.
That one kind of looks cooler. We like this one. This one looks pretty sick as well. Ooh, do this. Look how crazy that looks. Holy. That's sick ass. Kind of a bit absurd with the space stuff. Universal movements. Is it 97? Yeah, day 97. Oh, that looks sick. That looks sick, guys. We just grabbed my little head and toss it in there because that seems to be what we always do. Plus, at least it sets people up to know it's like a... No! Sniping tool? Where's the sniping tool? Bang. Precision. Hell yeah. Okay, well, that is stream complete. This will be out tomorrow. Given there's already another video for today, which will be flow, which was kind of like, I actually forget what it was about, but it's probably like a little tip of the iceberg, and this is a bit more of that iceberg. So yeah, still on the quest for discovery, probably always will be. And yeah, let's just keep flowing with everything. But for now, you guys take care, look after yourselves, and flow with life. Don't wield it to control, because you can't control it. Just flow with it, enjoy it. Be that movement, be that flow with everything else, and know that everything flows as one and is one. So you're already everything, and your only job is to come into acceptance and pursue from that foundation of abundance and being one with everything. So good luck to everyone and take care. See ya.